Hey y'all, Tamara here with Razzle Dazzle Life. Today we are going to be making some blueberries and cream croissant French toast. The key ingredient for this recipe are the croissants. You can use big croissants, little croissants. You want to try to use day-old croissants or ones that are just a little bit crusty. These ones are mini croissants that we got from the store. They're about 2 to 3 days old. Then we are going to add blueberries to our French toast. You can use strawberries, raspberries, whatever fresh berries are in season. For the cream component, we are going to be adding some cream cheese. It's gonna melt beautifully when we add it to the oven. And then for our French toast mixture, we are going to be adding some milk, some eggs, just a dash of salt, cinnamon, maple syrup, and some sugar. The sugar is absolutely optional, but highly recommended because it's going to help balance the tartness from the berries. We're gonna start by making the custard to dip our croissant French toast in. We're gonna use about 4 to 6 eggs here. These are just large eggs. Go ahead and crack them into a pretty big bowl. I'm gonna start with 4 eggs and see how much custard that makes me. My baking dish isn't too large. I'm not gonna make a big batch here, so gauge it off of how much you're making. If you're making a really big batch and you have a whole lot of croissants, you're gonna make more custard. This serving that I'm making is gonna serve about 4 people. If you're using large croissants and you have a lot, you want to use 6 eggs. So I have about 4 eggs here, and then I'm going to pour in about 1.5 cups of milk. Just whisk it all together, and you just want to make sure everything is mixed very evenly here. Then you're going to add in all of your other ingredients. We have our salt, about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We have about 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon here. Then we have some pure maple syrup, and then we're going to add sugar. Like I said in the beginning, the sugar is optional, but highly recommended. It's just gonna help balance the tartness of the blueberries and just give this a really good mix here. Make sure that cinnamon is incorporated fully, like so. Now that you've gotten your custard completely mixed up, you are going to take your baking dish and just spray it with non-stick cooking spray, just to make sure that nothing sticks into the bottom of that baking dish. Then you're going to take your croissants and just tear them apart. Nothing fancy here. You just want to tear them apart and add 1 layer to the bottom of your baking dish. Just 1 even layer right in the bottom. This is one of those breakfast or brunch recipes that's super simple. You can whip it up in no time. That's why it's so perfect for Christmas morning, Easter brunch. It's perfect. Now you're just going to take your cream cheese and cut it in little cubes here and just kind of lay it in the baking dish all over the top of the croissant. We have an 8-ounce block of cream cheese here. You don't have to use the whole thing. You can use half if you want to. It's completely up to you. I'll probably use about 3/4 of it because, like I said, I'm making a smaller batch this time. But if you're using the large croissant, I highly recommend that you use the entire 8 ounces of cream cheese because it is a berries and cream French toast. Just kind of put it in there just like that. Now we're just going to sprinkle our blueberries all over the top of the croissants and the cream cheese. Just get them right down in there. I have about a cup and a half of blueberries here. I'm gonna save the rest for serving. Just reserve a little bit to the side for when you serve yours. This is what we're looking like so far. And now I'm just gonna take a couple more croissants and tuck them right over the top of our blueberries and our cream cheese. I'm gonna keep a couple of them whole just for show, just to show that we made a croissant French toast. We want that to be known. And now we are going to pour our custard right over the top, just like that. And what's gonna happen is the croissants are going to soak up all of that custardy goodness. We're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and the croissants are gonna soak it all up, and then we are going to pop it in the oven and bake it for about 30 minutes. Just go ahead and press the croissants right down in there, so when we put it in the refrigerator, it's gonna soak up all that custard. The croissants are gonna just soak it all up. Then we're gonna put it in the oven for about 30 minutes to bake uncovered. If the tops of the croissants start to get too golden brown or they start to burn, then you can lightly cover it up with foil until they are cooked through. We want the egg and the custard to be nice and cooked. We don't want it to be watery or runny at all. So I'm gonna cover this up, put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, and we will be right back. Our croissants and berries and cream have been sitting in the refrigerator for 30 minutes now. It is time to pop it in the oven. The croissants have soaked up all that custardy goodness. We're gonna put it in the oven. It's been preheating at 375 degrees. Place it in there uncovered for about 30 minutes or until the croissants get nice and golden brown and the custard is no longer runny. You want the croissants to soak up all the custard. You want that custard to no longer be watery and runny. Be sure to check it every 15 to 20 minutes. If the croissants are getting too brown or they're starting to burn, lightly cover it with foil so that they don't burn up. While the croissant French toast is baking away, we're gonna make a whipped cream topping to go on the French toast. We have some heavy whipping cream here. Of course, you can buy the store-bought whipped cream if that's what you wanna do, but I have this in the refrigerator, so this is what we're gonna use. And I will tell you, if you can get some heavy whipping cream from your local store, it always tastes 10 times better and it's super easy to make. So add your whipped cream to a bowl, your heavy whipping cream, then you're just gonna add a splash of vanilla extract. Splash is like maybe a teaspoon or so. Then take your electric hand mixer. You can use a whisk, but it's gonna take a little while. And you're just gonna mix it up for about 2 to 3 minutes. You just wanna continue mixing until you get soft peaks in your whipping cream. I wanna sweeten it up just a little bit, so I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. These stiff peaks that have formed, this is how you want the texture of your whipped cream to be. If you whip it anymore, it's gonna turn into butter, so don't over mix it. And since it's French toast, I'm gonna go ahead and add in about a tablespoon or so, maybe just half a tablespoon of maple syrup to our whipped cream, just for a little more flavor. I'm also going to put the maple syrup on the side for serving, but I think it will be delicious in our whipped cream. And there we go. We're gonna set this to the side. We're gonna check on our French toast, and it is time to plate this goodness up, y'all. Just look at this goodness, you guys. It smells so good in here. I wish you guys could smell it. This is right out of the oven, you guys. That custard has been soaked up into the bread. It smells so delicious. You can garnish it with some powdered sugar. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle some of that powdered sugar right over the top. We made that whipped cream to serve it with. I'm gonna let it cool down just a touch, let everything settle, and then we'll serve it up. I'm just gonna take some powdered sugar and sprinkle it right over the top of our baked French toast here, just to make it nice and pretty. And then you can also serve it with some powdered sugar for each individual serving. Look how delicious this looks, y'all. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. I cannot wait to dig in. Then we're gonna serve it up with that whipping cream we made too. I'm just gonna cut into this little corner piece right here. Just dig right on into the bottom. It's still piping hot, you guys. Smell this, it smells delicious. Already looks so amazing. We're going to add a dollop of that whipped cream that we made so that we can serve it up and enjoy.